Hey, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Tina. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy stuff going on here. And once a week, we recap. We did Star Trek, Next Generation. It took a couple of years, but we did it every single Friday. Now we are into Voyager every single Friday. And I wish I could play it. I can't. Copyright issues. But Voyager's theme song is my out of all the different shows. Alright, I can't sing, but it's my favorite theme song. So we are in season 1. We are on disc 3. We are on episode 110, Prime Factors. And please do not forget to check out If Thens on Fridays also. Don't Don't spend gazillion hours in Lost in search engine. Sometimes it's been months trying to find this stuff. But on Fridays, and just go D. Louise book series If Then. There's 90 plus of them up there now, or will be. There's over 2,000 videos, by the way, so go check all those out. But if you're looking for homicides, detectives, Scotland Yard, Men in Kilts, Pirates and Mickey Sween, cozy mystery knitting, cozy mystery cooking, detective, vampires, dragons, forensics, homicides. Check out all those videos. Last year we got heavily into Thanksgiving themed family type situations. This year we're going in a different direction. Make sure you check out my Halloween stuff that aired recently. Yeah. Check out all those, especially the ones from last year. This year I did it a little on the lighter side, but last year I did the horror. Check those out. That one book is just so creepy. So, anyways, and don't forget unboxings on Sunday. Flashback Monday is just about over. We're gonna be working on something else. But I love my Romantic Times Book Review magazine. And we start with episode 110. There is no voiceover to begin with. And Torres, Seska are in the cafeteria. So Torres and Seska are in the captain's lunchroom that Neelix has taken over and made as the crew lunchroom now. And they're talking about the gentleman that just sat down over there. And they're looking at Ensign Murphy. Then they talk about Harry and Tom and the Delaney sisters. It's just girl talk. And then Janeway gets called to the bridge. The next scene is Janeway talking with Tuvok over lunch, and then she gets called to the bridge. So Chakotay says the subspace distress signal is coming from a vessel 125 Mark 21, distance 200,000 kilometers. Sensors indicate 5 life forms aboard. Tuvok says the vessel is altering course in attempt to intercept us. Janeway says, go to you, alert, and slow to impulse, and hail them, Mr. Kim. So, this is the guy on the ship. This is Captain Catherine Janeway of the Federation Starship Voyager. What is the nature of your emergency? We have no emergency, but you were sending out distress call. Yes, we are. Why? Because you are in distress. I am Gabriel Labin of planet Siskis. Please let us welcome you to our system, show you hospitality. That's very kind of you. If I could come aboard your ship, I have gifts for you and a proposal I hope you will find irresistible. And Jane was like, all right. Tuvok, make arrangements for our guest. So this guy brings food, and Neelix is a little distressed. He's serving lunch in 2 hours. So what is going on here? Just show Neelix. So Janeway introduces Scaris, and Neelix says only stories about their incredible hospitality. Tell me, how do you know about us? Our people are very well traveled. Some of them have brought back stories about the ship of aliens from another galaxy. People lost alone, struggling to find their way. So she tries the food and it's really good. Um, we thought we would offer you a vacation, if you will. Get, get away from the confines of this ship, enjoy the beauty of our landscape, meet and talk with interesting, learned people. And the crew would certainly welcome a shore leave, Captain. And I hear the Sikarians have a variety of edible plants. If we could collect some seeds, we'd expand our selection significantly. Sounds like all this would increase performance and maximize efficiency. What do you think, Mr. Tuvok? Indeed. Well, Gav, it looks like you're getting visitors. We'll follow you in. So they're in this plaza, and it looks a little like the one from when Janeway and Paris were trapped in that other place with the time thing, and they had to go to the shop, and the little kid spotted them, and that whole scenario. If you like anything, just let me know. What is this material? It's so delicate. They're doing these things here. It's the latest import from Venice. It's spun from petals of flowers that blooms only in moonlight. Shall I have a dress made for you? It's lovely, but no. Is it hard to accept this gift? All right, but how about a scarf? What a curious people are. Tell me, would it help if I said that you have an entire wardrobe made from these beautiful fabrics, and it would give us all pleasure to create them for you? Let's just start with the scarf. And then Kim is with this lady, and supposedly it's an instrument. Um, it's a atmospheric sensor. The frequency of the chimes indicates changes in the weather condition. Then it must work on a principle of nonlinear resonance, adjusting to the dynamic variables in the atmosphere. That's exactly right. Are you a scientist in a sense? Can you show me how to operate? And she shows him how to do stuff. And then we go back to Janeway picking out the scarf again. So then we get a voiceover. Captain's log, stardate 48642.5. The crew is enjoying an evening on Sikaris. They are discovering to their delight that the reports of this species' hospitality have not been exaggerated. So Kim is enjoying a conversation with this young lady. Then she beams him to the woods of Alstra, her favorite place. She goes there when she wants to spend time alone. And they get a little closer. Then, in the midst of all their conversation, she beams them someplace else. And she says that the sun is 40,000 light years from where they were originally. They beamed that far, that quickly, that fast. So now he's like This could be the answer to Voyager's prayers. Please tell me more. So then Janeway is enjoying some social time uh with this guy. And then Kim is like, Captain, 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 Captain. The platform. It's a Captain, excuse me for interrupting, but I've just found out something incredible. Calm down, Ensign. What is it? That platform. It's a transportation device. Extremely sophisticated. It operates on the principle of folding space. That's something that's been theorized, but no one's been ever been able to develop technology. Well, these people have. I've just been to Astra and back. Astra is 40,000 light years away. We call it a spatial trajector. We are able to travel to all the planets in this quadrant. How far can it take you? Astra is at the uttermost limits of its range. Apparently, it's never been used to move anything as large as Voyager, but I understand the principle of space folding. The size of the object isn't relevant. What do you think? Would it be possible to modify your technology so we could use it? I tried to tell them. What is it? We do not share our technology, Goss says. Once it's out of our control, it might fall into the hands of those who would abuse it, and our canon of laws strictly forbids it. But we wouldn't abuse it. Don't you see what it would mean to us? Please don't make it more difficult for me. I don't enjoy denying you this, but our canon of laws has determined our entire system of values. To break one of its precepts would undermine everything we believe in. No exceptions. So then we're in Voyager's briefing room. I can't believe they're not going to help us. Some kind of hospitality. 40,000 light years, even if that's as far as we go, it would still knock off 4 decades off our trip. And the possibility exists that we could reconfigure the matrix that could point us to another 30,000 light years right into Federation space. Since they've already said no, this kind of thinking is going to make you feel worse, Tuvok says. Sorry, I wish they would show a room view. It would be so much easier. Janeway says, it's the first time we've been on the other side of the fence. What fence? The one that's made of binding principles. We have our own set of rules, which includes the Prime Directive. How many times have we been in the position of refusing to interfere when some kind of disaster threatened an alien culture? It's all very well to say we do it on the basis of an enlightened principle, but how does that feel to the aliens? I'm sure many of them think the Prime Directive is a lousy idea. Even we think so sometimes. I know of many times when Starfleet personnel have decided on strong ethical grounds to avoid it, Chakotay says. Kim says there's still a reason why it's Starfleet's General Order Number 1. On the whole, it does a lot more good than harm. Captain, it occurs to me we know little about the Sikarians. We can't assume their first refusal is unalterable. It may be that no is simply a negotiation. He might be right, B'Elanna says. Maybe we could negotiate. Kim says, stories are an important part of the culture. They seem to provide them more entertainment. They're kind of a measuring rod of values and beliefs. We have a library in our databank. We could offer them that. What do you think, Captain? Would they be interested? They just might be. From what they've seen of them, they're remarkably pleasure-oriented people. They might appreciate a gift of literature. I'll meet with Gath and suggest it. In the meantime, I'm going to look at that trajector platform. Maybe I can figure out how it works. You'll do nothing of the sort, Janeway says. If I find this law is negotiable, I'll make every attempt to get technology. But until then, we won't do anything that might violate their canon of laws as we understand it. So then the meeting breaks up, and Kim says to Torres, what's wrong? I just hope she gets it. She will, Kim says. So Janeway is having lunch. I want you to know I understand your reluctance to share your technology with us. We have a similar restriction, but I wondered, would it make any difference if I gave you my word that we would destroy the trajector as soon as we used it? I know this will upset you, but I can't. I understand, but frankly, as I suspected as much, but I have a proposal which might allow you to obey your laws and still give us what we want. You could use the directory to send us 40,000 light years would mean a great deal to us. In return, we might offer you literature. Centuries of stories from new diverse cultures, stories that fire the imagination. You don't know how you tempt me, Captain. It's certainly possible. I'll have to meet with the other magistrates to discuss it. So then we're back in engineering. Um, we see Sesker again. She's what you call it? Daydreaming. So Torres is talking to her and she says, sorry, I wasn't concentrating. What did you say? You looked a million light years away. No, only about 70,000. My brother's birthday's in 4 days. Last year I promised I'd meet him on Nivok to celebrate with him. He'll think I broke my promise, that I'm dead. And then Seka's like, and you were saying? I've been thinking the folding of space should leave a subspace residue. If we can detect one, we might be a step closer to knowing how the trajector works. So she's pulling up all this stuff. Oh, I didn't realize Carrie was. Hold on a second. I didn't even realize he was still on the ship. But Torres and Sesker are looking at this thing on the computer screen, and maybe if the device creates a neutrino bubble around whatever it's being trajected. If that's the case, we need a big enough bubble for the ship. Don't worry, Lieutenant. I'm with you on this one. After all, it doesn't hurt to theorize. Right, and hypothetically, if we could modify the deflector array to emit phased neutrinos, we could create a big enough bubble. Let's give it a try. In theory, of course, Torres says. I like this. A threesome, them all concentrating on the computer screen and trying to hypothetically work out their hypothetical dream. Alright, so Edwina brings Kim to meet Jarrett. I asked Edwina to invite you here because I was sure you would respond to her and because it would look perfectly natural. I'm prepared to accept your collection of literature in exchange for our trajector technology. Is this something you've authorized to do? Officially, no. But many people believe that rules should be flexible enough to meet the needs of the moment. This is a great desire for new stories, and I would want to be the one to supply them. So you'd stand to benefit from this arrangement. We will benefit. Would gain prestige, and you would gain 40,000 light years in your journey home, possibly more. This is it, Ensign. This is the Matrix. And he gives Kim the device. Captain Janeway has asked the magistrates to send us 40,000 light years. He won't. He never had any intention of helping you leave here. Jared is right. How much it means to you to get home. Please listen to him. You must believe me when I tell you this is the only way you'll make that journey. Consider my offer. I'm sure you'll decide it's a fair one. So Kim, Paris, Torres, and Seska are in the lunchroom. I don't know what to do. I know we'd all like that much closer to home, but I don't think Janeway's going to go for getting the technology like that. Maybe she will. After all, it's the Sikarian who's making the offer. But it's not above board. The captain. So then Kim is meeting with the captain. Did Jared explain what he meant when he said Gath had no intention of helping us? No, he made it clear that our only choice was to get the trajector technology from him. He may simply want us to believe that so we would deal with him. Possibly, but somehow I suspect he's right. Thank you for coming to me with this, Ensign. It may muddy the situation somewhat, but it helps me force the issue. Dismissed, and he leaves. So then he leaves, and Janeway talks to Tuvok. What do I do now? You would seem to have two options. Continue to negotiate with the man who may have a hidden agenda, or deal with a man who is willingly to defy his own laws. Not pretty choices, but at least if you deal with Jarrett, it is his law that is being compromised, not ours. What does that mean? I told the crew when we started this journey that we'd be a Starfleet crew, behaving as Starfleet would expect us. That means there's a certain standard I have to uphold. Principles, principles. That's what it comes down to. Do I compromise my almighty principles? But how do I not compromise them if it involves a chance to get the crew more than halfway home? How do I tell them my principles are so important that I would deny them the opportunity? I believe the first thing you must do is determine whether Gath is willing to use the trajector to help us. If the possibility exists at all, you must explore it. She's like, okay, thank you. So then she's back on the planet. Have you spoken with the other magistrates about using the trajector? Actually, I haven't. Some of them are traveling now, but I assure you I will do it. I've already, it's become a matter of some urgency. Why? We've imposed on you for long enough. Not true. You've come as long as you, well, you're welcome as long as you wish to stay. I hope that's a very long time indeed. My crew is eager to continue our journey. Once they realize the trajectory might bring us 40 years closer to home. Why are you so consumed with this desire to get home? I find it difficult to understand. Home is where we belong. Couldn't you create a new home here with us? Could you imagine a more delightful place? Yes, but for how long? I have seen how quickly you get tired of your pleasures. All that interests you is what's new and unexplored. After a day or two, it becomes commonplace. Yes, we prefer permanence, the rewarded relationships that endure and grow deeper with the passing of time. You would lose those notions if you stayed with us. You might be right, and that's why we have to leave. We've offered you nothing but hospitality. Is that how you repay us? With a tax on our beliefs? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to illustrate the differences between us. I don't enjoy being judged like this. It's very upsetting, not at all pleasurable. That's all you care about is your pleasure, your hospitality, your graciousness. It's never about giving us pleasure. It's all about being gratified yourselves. We are nothing more than your latest novelty. You are hostile and vicious. You would infect the joyousness of our lives. You must leave immediately. You had never intention of helping us, did you? Of course I did. I did everything in my power to persuade you to stay here. Janeway's like, one to beam up. So, Janeway comes to the bridge and says, cancel all shore leave and recall the away teams. We've been asked to leave. Aye, Captain. I assume that Gareth will not be assisting us. I don't think he ever had any intention of helping us. He just strung us along. Are you considering Jarrett's latest offer? Oh, I wish I could, but I can't. Captain, it'll take hours to get everyone above. We've got crew members scattered throughout both hemispheres. Get them back as quickly as you can, Commander. I think we've overextended our stay here. I'll be in my ready room. Oh, I hate when I can't get a room shot. So, Seska and Torres and Carrie are in the lunchroom. I've downloaded the Federation library. It's all in these chips. We know the man to contact. He wants the library, and he doesn't care who gives it to him. We're under orders, Torres says. Seska says, B'Elanna, right now, our people are fighting Cardassians dying for our cause. Settlers in the demilitarized zone are under attack. We made a promise, B'Elanna, that we'd all stick together until the zone was safe. I have a wife and 2 little boys. I don't want them to grow up without a father. I would do anything to prevent that, Carrie says. We're not the only ones. Everyone wants to get back. They've just been waiting for someone to act. I've been working on the theory that the trajector operates within a neutrino envelope. If that's true, we can use it as many times as we need until we're all the way home. Just think by tomorrow we could be there. Then they're in the transporter room. With shore leave plans cancelled, can we get to the surface undetected? We'll have to override the security lockout. That shouldn't be a problem. It isn't accepting my codes. Reinitialize the lockbusters. I did. It's not working. Someone's altered the security subroutine. Why would anybody do that? Never mind. Beam me down. Are you crazy? Security will find out before you get there. I altered the security subroutines, Tuvok says as he walks in. Any attempt to override the lockout would have alerted me to your presence. This is Voyager's library, which you intended to trade for the trajectory? Yes. When I attempted to download, I noticed it had already been accessed. You were going to download it? I will prepare the exchange with Jared Hotel. Return to your stations. Do what you can to prepare the ship for the Matrix. So then Chakotay is informing the captain that Tuvok is on the surface of the planet. And then Janeway informs them in engineering that we will be leaving shortly. So Tuvok comes to engineering with the device. What are you doing? He said not to activate it. I'm not. I'm just going to try the in-phase simulation. We don't know even if it will interface. We can give ourselves a head start by testing it now. Alright, just a simulation. It turns on, it works. The trajectory field is bigger than anything we've created by 10 orders of magnitude. To get a field that size, you would need an amplifier as big as the planet. I don't understand. How do they get that kind of amplification? I'll show you. Scaris has a mantle of Trichis quartz, 20 kilometers thick. The crystalline structure of the mantle seems to focus the amplifier trajectory field. If that's how the power transfer occurs, then once we leave orbit, we'll lose the ability to traject. So that means if they don't do it right then and there, it won't work again. So then we're on the bridge. Mr. Paris, take us out of orbit, 40,000 kph. Aye, Captain. There's no response. The thrusters are offline. Janeway to engineering. What's going on? We got a phase variance in the plasma conduit 3. I'll have to check it out before we can engage thrusters. When did this problem show up? Just now, Captain. It's only a slight variance. I'll have it fixed in a minute. Alright, we're back in engineering again. Let's see if I can do this. Alright. So we're back in engineering. The matrix is activating. The trajectory field is forming. It's amplifying. Look how fast it's expanding. That's nearly the effects of a quartz mantle. We're nearly at full strength. This is going to work. An alarm sounds. The plasma fold is becoming unstable. It cannot compensate for that. The manifold is bombarded by antineutrons from the trajectory. Anti-neutrons. This must be the catalyst for the space folding process. It's not working. I can't compensate for the instability. There's no way to compensate for the field that size. Captain, I'm showing unstable plasma manifold. We're heading for a breach. What's happening? We're heading for a warp core breach up here. We're on it, Captain. No time to talk. Shut down the matrix. I can't. It's not responding. It's fused. Plasma temperature 43 million kelvins. Carrie, get everybody out. The matrix is stuck in the console. It won't unlock. The command shield is fixed. Plasma temperature 50 million Kelvin. Torres uses the phaser on the thing, and the thing stops. No, we're not going to cover this up. Are you crazy? We don't have time to take the blame for this. But we're going to. We just obeyed orders, gambling that it would pay off. So they're going to have to face the consequences of their actions. So, Torres and Tuvok. I take full responsibility for what happened. There were others involved, but I was a senior officer and the culpability is mine. Lieutenant Torres is not precisely correct. She was not senior officer involved. I was. I made the exchange, the Federation Library for the trajector. I will deal with you in a moment. I don't have the luxury of throwing you in the brig for the rest of the voyage. I need you. I need every person on the ship, but I want you to know how deeply you have disappointed me with this transrescue. And she's like, okay, bye. Janeway looks at Tuvok. I don't know where to start. I want you to explain to me how you, of all people, should be involved in this. It's quite simple, Captain. You made it clear on many occasions that your highest goal for the crew is to get home. But in this instant, your standards would not allow you to violate Sikarian law. Someone had to spare you that ethical dilemma. I was the logical choice, and I chose to act. You did it for me because you knew I couldn't. I accept the consequences of my action. I expect to lose my commission and be court-martialed when we return to Federation space. Yeah, in 70,000 light years. You are one of my most valued officers and you are my friend. It's vital that you understand me. I need you. I also need you to know that I can count on you. You are my counsel, the one I turn to when I need my moral compass checked. We've forged a relationship for years and I depend on it. I realize you made a sacrifice for me, but it's not one I would have allowed you to make. You can use logic to justify it. That's power and its flaw. From now on, bring your logic to me. Don't do it behind my back. You have my word. My logic was not in error. I was. Janeway says dismissed, and the episode ends. So, that's the end of Prime Factors. Please tune in next week for State of Flux and the week after for Hero and Demons. And don't forget to watch If Then later this afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in.